Alright, and now we can start game number 4. It is now 2-1 in favor of Memo. And Memo spawning in the bottom side of the map with a really wild map here. This is almost bad. This is so like noobishly good, it's bad. Like you feel so safe and secure in this little walled off area, but you're gonna be cut off from the rest of the map really fast if you defend from here. So you have to defend from outside. And is it defendable from outside? He's got a hill over here to work with, but I'm assuming he's going to be defending more from like here in the middle. He also has a hill on the sides to work with, but these are going to be more destructive towards him than helpful, I believe. He could potentially be getting some shots off with the hill and clip bonus. Although, never know, EmBe with the teal pieces will be spawning at this side of the map over at 10 p.m. He has an interesting map as well, equally cut off. You would think that this forest is thin. Am I on the right mode? Yeah. You would think that this forest is too thin and can be easily exposed, but because of the formation of this cliff, it's actually a pretty safe forest to work with. This forest is far more exposed. This one might be. Depends on how he decides to hold, you know? So what are we going to see? Let's just consider the reality here. It's up 2-1. You know, last game may have been a map flaw, but that's how the game goes, right? You get a bad map and you lose sometimes. Sometimes that's just the way it is. We don't have any restarts allowed in this show match just to save time. You know, this isn't a tournament. This is for fun. So the idea was you don't need to worry about that. Ooh, and EmBe taking a little hit there. Maybe not realizing that in the most recent patch, Elephant Lure got fixed a bit, but with those Assyrian vills, you can still outrun the elephants really quickly, so you have to be careful about exactly that happening. Meanwhile, Memo will be quick to wall into this area, but he's going to have to find a way out pretty quickly. He's got the elephant to work with, but did he wall that elephant out? No, not quite, but just about. He's just going to have some trouble. He's got these gazelle up here to work with. He's got an extra berry out front. So we're going to be seeing some. He's going to have to build outside of this little area. The good thing about this is that he's going to have some really protected wood once his economy is out here. Whereas his opponent could have some exposed wood lines. Ooh, and EmBe once again getting a really tough lure here in the middle of his base. You know, it's not really near center. I mean, with the Vil speed from Assyrian, he can kind of overcome that issue, but it could lead to a food deficit that he's not really keen on maintaining. The elephant from Memo will get lured back to his base. Ooh, and that's really crappy. That's really, really crap from Memo. Like, I mean, he has to because he can't lure these anywhere, but look at that villager's freaking stuck. That villager's literally stuck in there. I'm able to get the elephant into his little crowded area. Oh, look at that. He's got to chop his vill free. This villager. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Wowza, this villager's trapped for forever. Oh, and he somehow jiggles his way out. What the heck was that magic? That's some magic moves. Magic Mike right there. Showing us the moves. That's what they say, right? The second granary going up for EmBe. He's got neither player getting in a successful lure here, really, of the gazelle. But once again, I mean, this was really crappy for Memo. His gazelle were on the other side of the map from the other side of the forests. They're basically walled off from him by the nature of the map. Any hills to work with. This big hill in the middle of the map is probably going to be pretty decisive if the players get equal tool times and bronze times. If they do get those equal times, we will be seeing a lot of contention over, I think, this central hill. I think that it's going to decide who can aggress and who's forced to defend. I think Memo would be benefited more by being on the aggressive due to the nature of these berries being out here and these gazelle being out here. He probably won't get to these gazelle, but these berries are going to take him a while to get through. Like he's still got some time. The players are going to be hitting. I mean, he won't finish these till late tool, right? Like maybe even once Bronze Age comes in, so he could be caught exposed here, as you saw in the in game 2. But in that game, Memo was able to get the numbers advantage. But with this deficit here, like that Ellie lure, that rough Ellie lure is nothing when you compare it to how crap these Gazelle are. Like 2 of them are inaccessible until the previous 2 are depleted. It's going to take him a long time to do, and now he's got a ton of vills on this berry, really oversaturated. It means that once this berry goes down in 24 food, and this berry goes down in 40, and this berry goes down to 90, he's going to have all these vills on one berry over in the back with 150. Look, this one's already gone. This one's about to disappear, and now he's got like 15 vills on 3 berries. And it's just going to be, it's going to get really gross for him in terms of food income, but he did okay. For his sake, he has found another berry patch, so he will get this. Now, this berry patch is really exposed, but it's almost so far away that if EmBe scouts out Memo's main base, and look at this, this is why this is bad. You just can't saturate this. He's trapped his own guys in here. He realizes, but like, what can he do? He just has to leave them. I mean, that's so much food. Like, that's a farm's worth of food, really, that got lost on this Gazelle. You hate to see that happen at this level of gameplay, but it is what it is. Both players now hitting tool. Or a little bit ago hitting tool. Whoa. EmBe with a significant advantage while I was idling away on my caster seat. I missed that. That's a big advantage in terms of time. Memo now pitting out in the middle of here for these Gazelle too. Yeah, so he's going to have to play on the ball here to avoid losing all of his units. The ranges for EmBe will come down in the middle of the map, basically. In a nice position on the... Actually, for him, that's a pretty bad spot in relation to the hill, as he's going to be forced, basically, to just hold his ranges here. If Memo gets a positional advantage on this hill, he can just attack north. And EmBe is going to be forced into some weird choke points on his own ranges here. Whereas Memo doesn't really have that hill issue to speak of. I mean, once again, we have a cavern in the middle of the map. I think that negates... Those negate each other when you're shooting over, which could actually become a factor here, because Memo is working with his ranges here. This is an awkward spot for these ranges. You would have expected them to be a little bit further back, but I guess this position, well exposed, he's also a little bit protected by the forest to the south of it. Now, the times, let's just double check these. Yeah, just a few seconds ahead for EmBe here. And just 2 vills, not a huge advantage at all. Mostly negated. But like again, I think those seconds come back down to that Gazelle, the little Gazelle patch issue. Whoa, and here's the speed. Already coming across the map at 2.0. I forget just how fast these chariots are. First wave is coming out for Memo as well, and they will meet in the middle of the map. Ooh, actually, not quite. EmBe is going to get in, but he's not going to find anything unless he tucks up right into this little wall segment, which could put him in a compromising position. Memo working his way across the map as well, with an equal number of chariots at the start, but now EmBe with a significant advantage, double the chariot count. But he is cut off. He is cut off on this side. Oh, and he does shoot that he shoots that volley, and Memo now knows that there are chariots here. Memo, however, moving out into the middle of the map, and he's going to get... Ooh, his villagers off to the side are going to get caught, potentially. Just one going down here. Does EmBe recognize this and go to the right with his chariots? Whoa, huge military advantage for EmBe here. Remember when I talked about how the Gazelle could happen to Memo too? It basically did. And now we see the plight of this map position. It's almost too good to be true, and it is. Like, all these woodlands are just so exposed, and he has nowhere to hide. So he's gonna have to play out on the map, defending this entire region. Whereas EmBe is safe at home. He's walled up. He just has this one entry into his base. He's still only on the 4 ranges, but as is Memo this time around. We don't see that range advantage for Memo, as we've been used to in the past. And moving across the map, this is a large army. Here's the mini-map for you for just a second. And they forced to retreat. Ooh, and this is big. A big run-in by Memo. Taking actually a pretty nice fight here. But he's now going to get surrounded. He did not get the damage he wanted to at this stage of the game, and he's leaving. Wait, hold on. EmBe isn't fighting this with enough chariots. Memo's going to win this fight in the middle of the base. Memo's got the numbers here. EmBe, now realizing he didn't leave enough units there, is going to be forced to idle some of his villas, I think. And now the chariots come in, but that was such a good trade for Memo, but only because EmBe was a little behind the ball there. That was truly surprising. He could have just trapped that army and killed all of these chariots, but by taking such an awkwardly bad fight, he's now let Memo get on top of the ring base, and these chariots are going to escape, at least some of them, if a bit wounded, will escape, and that's so much damage from Memo. And now that's evened up things quite a bit here. The kill loss, 18 to 10. Wow. Just wow. The 10-vil advantage, I mean, it's strong, but is it enough to win the game here? 5 Rangers to 4 still from Memo. And now EmBe is actually taking a really nice fight here. Memo may have lost a few too many chariots here. The dance from both players, but EmBe doesn't really have the room to dance, whereas Memo can keep moving his chariots around. But he's forced to run, and now he's at a really big disadvantage in the middle of the map. How is he going to defend this? So even though Memo came in here, all he really did was get a good fight against chariots. He got a good kill loss against some chariots. He didn't actually get any eco damage. He didn't really get any vills. He killed like 2 or 3 vills, but most of that was his chariots trading in a good fashion for him. Now, okay, this hill, as we spoke of before, is in a prime position for Memo to pressure, at least maintain map pressure, because he needs to. He basically has to. If EmBe runs this way, Memo's really out of luck here. His economy here is very exposed. He hasn't house-walled anything. Memo will be pestering this little side of the map with just 3 chariots. Knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, saying, "Ding dong, who's there? It's me, it's Memo. I got some chariots. What's up? I got your pizza." And as he says that, he doesn't have pizza, it's arrows to the face, which he'll provide to those villagers behind the house wall. But EmBe responding in kind with 4 chariots of his own, just enough to outnumber his opponent. Ooh, and Memo getting some damage over the wall here. As I said before, this was a strong win line, but no more. EmBe needs to move it over to here. And Memo's still on the hill. Both players microing this fight. Yeah, Memo's got to run from that. That's just too many chariots. Even with the 50% extra damage shooting downhill, he's not going to have the numbers. And he's also going to lose another 2 chariots at the bottom of that fight. And that is going to hurt. And now he's forced to play defensively. Ooh, and EmBe knows he has a passage into this juicy location. This hill is gorgeously positioned for him to pressure this wood line and his barracks and this wall, and look at how fast this barracks melts under the fire of Assyrians on a hill. In retrospect, however, and Memo has shooting down a cliff, so these bonuses will negate for the most part. Actually, for a large part, Memo does have the advantage in terms of terrain, but he is forced back by the numbers and just the positioning of the chariots on the terrain. And they forced up the hill now. And building back at home, Memo with no chariots in reserve. Oh, and Memo didn't quite notice this, and neither did I. Some chip damage coming in from across the map. Onto this exposed economy, Memo forced to retreat. EmBe playing this like a fiddle as he gets Memo to keep his chariots on the left side of the map. Forcing a reaction now. 4 chariots from Memo coming to clean up that little mess. On aisle 7, on aisle Memo. Clean up on aisle Memo, one could say. Ooh, and this farm. Ooh, and the micro comes in. Try to get another kill here to make that chariot worth its time. No, only some damage on the farm, but he did kill like 3 vills here, maybe more, that we didn't quite notice. And now we see the awkwardness of these ranges from Memo. EmBe's gonna come right around the map and pressure these farms again. Memo, though, realizes this. He's moving not enough chariots to the side of the map. Now he's got enough numbers. Where's EmBe's army? Is this all of it? EmBe doesn't have the numbers to fight this, especially with these villas dancing. Look at this. Memo's still on the hill. They're still on the cliffside. Still doing damage to these villagers as they get cut up, but these chariots will die for their pressure. Now, Memo able to push EmBe off the side of the map here, but these farms are forced to go idle, and look at that vill count dwindling. Memo, however, 12 behind, does get the town center up now, though. So does EmBe. Both players on 2 TCs. Getting that third town center is critical, as it allows you to really produce villagers at that speedy rate, really. You can do them in batches of 3, and you have the farms to support it. But Memo getting on top of the hill first. Oh, this is a beautiful fight from Memo. Look at the spacing on these chariots, rather. Oh, and EmBe's just forced to retreat from that one. The kill loss there. Look at that, 5-1 in that fight alone. And the kill loss again. Wow. Wow. Again, just wow at that kill loss. EmBe seems to be faster with bigger economy, but Memo with larger army and better kill loss. We're getting to a pattern. This is the play styles of the players. Memo favoring the larger army and that micro heavy focus, whereas EmBe is playing a bit more macro heavy, going for the larger eco. But look at this. I mean, when you're playing a macro game, this is why he needs these extra villagers, right? To overcome that rough wood line. I mean, I guess Memo's in a similar position here. Actually, Memo's on very few wood lines. Oh, and a few chariots doing another run by it. So both players, we've now split the army in 2 to deal with this aggression. Oh, and these 2 villagers are just so dead. These farms are now fully denied. That's a huge wood investment. Oh, and Memo getting caught out here. He does have the hill to retreat to, but he has the numbers here. Sharing chariots at this point are just going to be one-shotting your opponents. Ooh, and a big catch here from Memo. He's going to catch a ton of these chariots. Ooh, but 4 of them escape. Does Memo know this? And now 4 of these chariots are kind of behind enemy lines, and I've seen EmBe do this before. He's just going to hide them for a bit. He's going to wait for the right time. In the middle of this fight, the next time these chariots collide, he's going to start moving them out, and here they are. Memo forced back for now. He ceded the hill because his army's been split. Does he know about these chariots? It seems like he forgot. He forgot, and now EmBe knows. EmBe knows. The next time they engage, these chariots are going to come in and do a lot of damage. It's up to Memo. That puts the pressure on Memo to respond in time. And here come the chariots, and here comes the counterattack right away. Memo forced to the hill. He does spot the aggression here, though. Gets a quick house wall up, and he has enough numbers at home to defend, but he has the hill on the main part of this fight here. And this is going to be a decisive fight. I mean, and EmBe's sticking to it. EmBe's sticking here. He can't fight this. The numbers are really an advantage of Memo there. And let's get a quick replay of that fight, because I think that was pretty. I think that was pretty new. I think that was a pretty big fight there. You know. Sorry, I just stumbled over that while I'm setting that replay up. But look at that. The dual-sided pressure from EmBe fails, and he's forced to retreat. And now he's coming across the middle map, and Memo has the opportunity to get a flank, though. EmBe, however, does have just the bigger economy still, correct? Yeah, a huge economy lead to EmBe. EmBe just has firm grasp on this game. Currently, you would think it's up to Memo to micro. And it looks like he's just not getting the numbers out to do the damage he needs to. He's able to defend, but he's able to push. If he's not able to push, the defense is meaningless. Look at that. EmBe up to 7 rangers. Memo only on 6. More town centers for Memo, however, I believe. Let's count that. 1, 2. On just 2 town centers. 2 town centers. And EmBe still has a larger economy. Oh, and a big fight in the middle of the map once again, but... Ooh, EmBe just has the numbers. Look at this. Look at this. Military from EmBe, and now EmBe with the largest army will be pushing Memo back. Memo on so many town centers. Maybe over booming a bit here. Getting a little caught out by the military numbers of EmBe. Memo forced again to this hill. He's won some battles here. He's got the cliff to reinforce, and a kind of a good choke point here to work with. But here comes EmBe. He's just running up the hill. He's just going straight up the hill. Just going for the hill. And that was a ton of free hits for Memo. He's got the flank on the hill as well. But the numbers, frankly, just there. The numbers are just there. Now he is the hit. Now it's cliff versus hill. Split. So there's no terrain advantage in this fight. Except for these ones shooting over the hill and not over the cliff. A really awkward fight for Memo. He's not doing well on this fight right now. Falling back, he's got to move his economy a bit. Oof. And now EmBe just has the hill pretty firmly under his grasp. Look at the kill loss. It's so heavily in favor of Memo, but still the economy in favor of EmBe, and the timeline in favor of EmBe, and the largest military in favor of EmBe. But the kill loss for Memo. I mean, we've been seeing this over and over. This is the same stat distribution. Memo getting a quick run in here somehow. Where did he get in? Doesn't really matter how we got in, because they all died. I missed all of that. I'm sorry, guys. Now the house wall here, under duress, ringing the doorbell, knocking, hello, who's there? It's me, I'm a chariot. And they're saying hello. Oh, Memo going for the hill behind, looking to trap this army. Oh, but walking into the flank. This could be a game-ending fight. This could be a game-ending fight. Look at the numbers from EmBe. Memo doesn't have anything to compete with this. And he's losing his whole army. That flank from EmBe was beautifully orchestrated. Absolutely gorgeous. Memo now has some bit of a defensive army here, and he does have the cliff advantage to work with. But the numbers up for EmBe. Memo forced full retreat here. He's got to defend, and he's given up the cliff. He no longer has a cliff advantage against most of EmBe's army. And the numbers are just there for EmBe. Memo is forced to scramble. Housewall getting pressured again, and a few chariots coming in. Memo seating up all of his bloodline. He's not giving up yet. He's not calling GG on this yet. He thinks he has a chance. He might. He could. This is still anyone's game, but the economy. 82 to 81, but the army, it's all EmBe. EmBe's everywhere with this military. Can Memo build up and defend on this hill? This could be what he's banking on. But oh, losing even more economy down here. He's forced to run all of these villagers to this side of the map. He's forced to defend from this hill. Now, he could get some good damage in here. Now, this is a really good fight for Memo. Well, all these chariots are fighting the buildings and stuff. He's getting a ton of free damage on the chariots of EmBe. But now EmBe's noticed, and he has rallied his men. Little lag there. Not me crashing, thankfully. Wow. Wow. And just look at that damage. Memo actually forcing EmBe back? Why is EmBe retreating from this? His reinforcements are streaming across the map. He has rallied his ranges onto the ranges of Memo. But Memo with this hill defensively overlooking his ranges. I just don't think he has the numbers here. A lot of his reinforcements are getting cut off. And EmBe just has the numbers. EmBe's got it. There's no way Memo can hold. EmBe just beautifully microing his chariots, not getting caught up in the moment, and Memo finally calling GG on this one. He held out for a bit longer, but alas, the map layout was really tough for Memo there, I will say. Although it looked like he could have done something with this cliff, or this hill rather, and this cliff overlooking EmBe's base. He was just a little behind, a lot of his economy being on this side of the map. separated from his army. He got caught out quite a few times there. Wow, incredible game. Incredible game. And this is still a best of 7. This is now a 2-2. This is a very even series, guys. This is incredibly even. Oh man, guys, this is what we play this game for. This is why we watch this game, you know? This is it. Absolutely incredible gameplay. Both players, you got to commend them both. But the series is not over. It is not over. Don't get your don't relax just yet, guys. We got more games to come. This is a best of 7. And that was only game 4 in which